I'm Muhammed Hamdan and this is Nightline, and here are the top stories. Israel carries out strikes targeting Iran's nuclear military sites. And speed limiter device rule for commercial vehicles to be enforced in stages from October. Good morning. We begin the bulletin with this story. US President Donald Trump on Friday urged Iran to accept US demands to restrict its nuclear program as Israeli airstrikes targeted nuclear sites and military facilities, killing at least 2 senior commanders and several nuclear scientists. Trump warned that the next already planned attacks on Iran would be even more brutal and urged Iranian officials to make a deal before there is nothing left. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the strikes were aimed at hurting Iran's nuclear infrastructure and ballistic missile factories. The Zionist military later confirmed that 200 fighter jets struck over 100 targets across Iran, including key sites in Tehran, Natanz and Tabriz. Reports indicate multiple casualties, including both civilians and high-ranking Iranian officials. Among those who were killed were Commander-in-Chief of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, Hossein Salami, Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Muhammad Bagheri, and nuclear scientists, Mohammad Mehdi Tehranchi and Feridun Abbasi. After the Zionist regime bombed a reported 100 locations in Iran, including residential buildings, Iran responded by launching a drone swarm towards Israel. According to the Zionist military, Iran launched approximately 100 drones in retaliation, aiming at targets within Israeli territory. This came after Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's warning that Israel would face severe punishment in response to its airstrikes. In a statement, Khamenei said Israel had prepared a bitter fate for itself, which it will definitely receive. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has denounced Israel's attack on Iran, which resulted in the deaths of several senior Iranian officials. He described the attack as a grave and reckless act that could further destabilize an already fragile region. In a post on his Facebook account on Friday, Anwar said the strike was clearly intended to sabotage the ongoing nuclear deal negotiations between the US and Iran and comes at a time when Israel is facing renewed scrutiny over its actions in Gaza. He also called on Israel's allies to exert maximum pressure to prevent any further escalation of aggression. Meanwhile, Malaysia has chosen to disregard US calls for foreign nations to boycott the upcoming United Nations conference on the two-state solution between Israel and Palestine. Anwar emphasized that every nation has the right to attend and voice its views at the conference, which is being co-hosted by France and Saudi Arabia in New York next week. The Prime Minister on Friday confirmed that Malaysia will be sending a representative to the UN conference scheduled to take place from June 17th to 20th.
Mana-mana negara berhak hadir untuk membukakan pandangan mereka, terutama keadilan bagi rakyat Palestin dan Gaza. Itu pandangan kita. Jadi dan saya menyokong inisiatif dalam hal ini oleh Crown Prince Putera Diraja Muhammad bin Salman dan juga Presiden Macron.
Earlier media reports stated that US President Donald Trump had lobbied foreign nations to refrain from attending the conference. The conference is expected to focus, among other matters, on the two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict. The government will award suitable projects to the Royal Malaysia Police Cooperative Berhad, RMPC, through its subsidiary companies. The Prime Minister said the move aims to provide additional funds to increase members' returns, boost revenue and allow better dividend payouts to more than 100,000 policemen. Anwar also expressed hope that the RMPC will maintain its excellent financial management by successfully implementing the awarded projects without complications.
Kita boleh lihat, serah kepada KDN, kemudian biar ada skop kerja dan pastikan harga itu yang munasabah. Dan kerana ini bukan syarikat swasta, kita boleh beri keutamaan.
Anwar said this in his keynote address at the RMPC 90th Annual General Meeting in Kuala Lumpur on Friday. He said if the RMPC demonstrates a strong performance in its projects, the government may consider awarding more in the coming years. He added that the government will explore all possible avenues to ease the burden of the management and consider a reasonable debt reduction for Unicorp College in Cyberjaya, which is owned by the RMPC. Meanwhile, the Royal Malaysia Police is in the process of enhancing safety standards for its personnel, including the transport vehicles they use. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said a special committee established by Bukit Aman will look into the matter, with several proposals currently under review. Razaruddin added that the proposals include the use of safer seating arrangements to minimize the risk of injury in the event of an accident. He also highlighted concerns over the use of police trucks to transport school children.
Kalau kita tengok dalam keadaan bencana tersebut, kemalangan tersebut, barang-barang yang diangkut bersama dengan penumpang itu ada di dalam tu. Yang itu pun kita segregatekan sepatutnya peralatan yang dibawa di dalam kenderaan lain. Bukan di dalam. Pasal itu bukannya perjalanan untuk membuat operasi. Perjalanan baru nak pergi ke tempat untuk operasi.
On Thursday, a preliminary report released by the Transport Ministry on the fatal crash involving a lorry and FRU truck in Teluk Intan Perak on May 13th found no indication that the seat belts were available for either the front or rear seats of the police vehicle. 9 FRU personnel died in the incident. The use of speed limiter devices or SLDs on commercial vehicles, including tour and express buses, will be enforced in stages from October, with full compliance expected by July 2026. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said vehicles fitted with the device will be restricted to a maximum speed of 90 km per hour, even if the road speed limit is higher.
Peranti ini memainkan peranan penting dalam mengelakkan pemanduan melebihi had laju yang ditetapkan, terutamanya bagi kenderaan yang membawa muatan berat ataupun penumpang.
The phased-out rollout starts on October 1st for tour buses, express buses and heavy goods vehicles registered from 2015 onwards, which must undergo functionality checks and obtain certification from the approved bodies. For commercial vehicles registered before 2015 that already have SLD functions in their electronic control units, enforcement will begin on January 1st, 2026. These vehicles must activate the system and present proof of compliance. The certification may be provided by the manufacturer or service facilities recognized by the Road Transport Department (RTD). For vehicles without SLD systems, including goods vehicles with a maximum weight exceeding 3.5 tons and passenger vehicles carrying more than 8 people, retrofitting approved devices will be mandatory, with enforcement to kick off from July 1st, 2026. Meanwhile, Loke also revealed that the Kejara demerit system for road offences will undergo a major overhaul in the near future.
Effective is still on, but saya kata memang kejara ini kita perlu rombak besar-besaran. Dia tak efektif langsung sekarang. Sebab kejara itu hanya dia berkuat kuasa ataupun maka hanya akan ditolak selepas dia bayar saman. Okay. Kalau belum dia bayar saman, dia belum.
Introduced in 2017, the Kejara system was designed to impose demerit points on motorists who commit specific traffic offences. Moving on, the bus driver in the crash that claimed the lives of 15 University Pendidikan Sultan Idris UPSI students last Monday was charged on Friday at the Gerik Magistrates Court with dangerous driving. The accused, 39-year-old Muhammad Amirul Fadil Zulkifli, pleaded not guilty to the 15 charges read to him before the magistrate. The offence falls under Section 41, subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act, which carries a maximum penalty of 10 years jail and a fine of up to 50,000 ringgit upon conviction. He also claimed trial to a separate charge of reckless driving under Section 42, subsection 1, which carries up to 5 years jail, a fine between 5,000 and 15,000 ringgit, and a maximum 5-year driving ban. The court set bail at 19,000 ringgit for all charges with one surety and fixed July 14th for mention. A pedestrian is feared missing after being struck by a car on a bridge along Jalan Ipoh heading towards Buletin in Kuala Lumpur on Friday. He is believed to have fallen into the river below following the crash, which occurred at around 11:45 a.m. City Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Muhammad Issa said the car driver, a 39-year-old Bangladeshi man, has been detained to assist investigations into the incident under the Road Transport Act. Earlier, several videos of the accident went viral on social media, showing the car losing control, colliding with the front of another vehicle and then hitting the pedestrian. The car then plunged beneath the bridge, lodged between concrete structures and iron pipelines. The driver, who sustained injuries, was taken to Kuala Lumpur Hospital for treatment. Efforts are ongoing to locate the pedestrian, whose identity remains unknown. The Education Ministry MOE has called for immediate action to combat pornographic and immoral content involving students on social media platforms. Minister Fadlina Siddiq said recent reports highlighting the existence of posts displaying images of school children must be taken seriously and stopped. In a statement on Friday, Fadlina said social media pages that share explicit or immoral content must be curbed. She said the matter has already been reported to the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC). Fadlina also urged parents to be more proactive in educating and protecting their children from the threat of sexual harassment at home. Recently, a social media group sparked public outrage for allegedly posting content involving minors linked to elements of pedophilia. The revised and expanded Sales and Service Tax SST, set to take effect on July 1st, is not expected to significantly impact overall consumer spending patterns. According to BIMB Securities, the expansion is expected to raise consumer costs by 10 billion ringgit annually. This accounts for just 0.8% of total domestic consumption, which was estimated at 1.15 trillion ringgit last year. The amount, therefore, is not expected to have a significant impact on overall consumer spending patterns. The expansion is also expected to contribute to a 0.3 to 0.4% increase in the Consumer Price Index (CPI). It will also help the government reduce the fiscal deficit from 4.3% in 2024 to 3.8% this year. The price of gold climbed to its highest level in over a month on Friday following Israel's attack on Iran. Spot gold rose 1.3% to 466 ringgit and 86 cents per gram, while US gold futures gained 1.4% to approximately 470 ringgit and 50 cents per gram. The increase is driven by investors' demand for safe haven assets amid the escalating tension in the Middle East. Analysts expect the price of the precious metal to continue rising if the situation worsens. Meanwhile, traders are anticipating a Federal Reserve interest rate cut as early as September, following the weakening of the US labor market and subdued inflation pressures. Oil prices jumped more than 7% on Friday, trading near multi-month highs after Israel launched wide-scale strikes against Iran, raising worries about disrupted oil supplies. Brent crude futures jumped $5.1 or around 7.4% to $74.46 a barrel, after hitting an intraday high of $78.50, the highest since January 27th. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was up $5.1 or 7.5% at $73.15 a barrel, after hitting a high of $77.62, its highest level since January 21st. Friday's gains were the largest intraday moves for both contracts since 2022, after Russia's invasion of Ukraine caused a spike in energy prices. Luxury items worth 16 million ringgit seized. The details after this break.
Sebagai suami tak berguna, sebagai bapa tak boleh pakai.
Cukup! Sebab dia nak jadi manusia yang bertanggungjawablah semua benda ni terjadi. Ibu cakap ceraikan Syah.
Ustazah, kau ni memang jenis bercakap tak tengok orang
Nombor 1, saya bukan ustazah.
Kau nak ugut aku, Aminah?
Awak ingat awak seorang je kan yang boleh main ugut-ugut?
Aku tengok siapa yang nak tolong bapak macam kau ni.
Ayah dah bersedia dengan aku penghukuman. Pasal apa yang dia dah buat.
Panggil? Baik. Sekarang saya akan bagi keputusan trial kamu hari itu. Di tempat pertama.
please.
Macam biasa. Alisha. Mana Alisha?
Misi anda adalah untuk dapatkan tiket Agent Ali The Movie 2 di program berdekatan sekarang.
Lima rasa, lima rasa, yeah. Lima rasa bersama Fazli.
Welcome back. A 17-year-old boy has been remanded for a week to assist police investigations into the fatal stabbing of his mother and elder brother at their home in Bukit Rambai, Malacca on Thursday. The remand order was issued by the Ayer Keroh Magistrates Court, with the case being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. On Thursday, it was reported that a 51-year-old female teacher and her 21-year-old elder son were found dead in the living room of their house at around 5 a.m. The younger son, aged 13, was seriously injured. Police arrested the 17-year-old outside the house. A bloody 20-centimeter folding knife, believed to be the weapon used in the attack, was discovered in a school bag placed outside the residence. Authorities have seized luxury goods worth 16 million ringgit from the residence of a prominent businessman with a Tan Sri title under investigation for the alleged misappropriation of sukuk funds linked to a highway construction project. Among the seized items were gold bars, coins, statues, designer handbags, luxury watches, jewellery and a branded casino set. On Thursday, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC recorded a statement from the Tan Sri at his home in Bandar Tasik Selatan Cheras, with the heavily armed anti-corruption tactical squad deployed as a precaution due to the presence of weapons on the premises. According to a statement by the MACC Strategic Communications Division, the squad was activated to secure the scene and escort seized items back to the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya. Following the surge, the MACC's Investigations Division seized 84 luxury handbags worth 3 million ringgit, 11 branded watches valued at 1 million ringgit, gold bars, coins and figurines estimated at 3 million ringgit, jewellery and diamonds worth 4 million ringgit, as well as a branded casino gaming set worth 150,000 ringgit. Investigators also uncovered a concealed bulletproof room used to store firearms and ammunition. No weapons, however, were confiscated as they were registered under a company owned by the individual. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki confirmed the total seizure and said further confiscations may follow. He also revealed that the scheduled statement-taking session has been postponed due to the Tan Sri's state of health. The latest move comes after 143 million ringgit in assets were previously frozen as part of the same investigation. Rev Media Group dominated this year's Malaysian Digital Association MDAD Awards by securing 7 awards, including 2 main accolades, Digital Publisher of the Year and Content Agency of the Year. The wins reinforce Rev's position as a leading force in Malaysia's digital media landscape, recognized for its editorial leadership and branded content capabilities. Rev Chief Executive Officer Samuel Wee said the recognition reflects the group's evolution and ongoing commitment to creative and commercial excellence.
I think we're at Rev where we want to make sure that we continue to use technology to blend in data to make sure that everything is captured very, very well in an essence where from top-down approach, what users are wanting to read, we are providing them with the best type of local content, right? Making sure that we touch every sort of touch points of where users are at. So when they wake up till they go to sleep, we know that, hey, Rev Media Group probably got them covered in terms of reaching them, and we want to continue to maintain that #1 position as Malaysia's largest digital publisher.
The group also bagged 5 bronze awards in highly competitive categories, recognizing its excellence in AI utilization, original content creation, digital marketing innovation and social media engagement. In 2024, the group also took home 7 awards and was previously recognized for its innovative election coverage, My Undi, in 2023, as well as for its standout social content. Black box recovered from Air India crash. The details when Nightline returns.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Keadilan. Apa yang dimaksudkan dengan keadilan? Apa kau percaya dalam dunia ni ada keadilan? Nyawa harus dibayar dengan nyawa. Darah harus dibayar dengan darah. Welcome to the gang, Andra.
Nampaknya kau memang ditakdirkan untuk jadi salah seorang daripada kita orang. Mafia.
Hapuskan anak-anak mafia tu, Hariwijaya akan turun hancur. Begitu juga dengan Serigala Merah.
Kalau dia pecah lubang kita, dia buka lubang dia.
Kau nak diduri dalam daging ke apa?
Kalau bukan sebab geng Kau dah lama mampus macam mancing kura.
Welcome back. News from the foreign front. Investigators on Friday recovered a black box recorder from the crash site of a London-bound passenger jet that ploughed into a residential area of India's Ahmedabad city. Investigators reported recovering a digital video recorder from the crash site, which will be crucial to help determine what caused the plane to crash just minutes after taking off from Ahmedabad en route to London's Gatwick Airport. Rescue teams, in the meantime, have completed their sweep of the crash site and are now searching nearby buildings for bodies and plane debris. Authorities said 265 bodies had been counted so far, which suggested that at least 24 people were killed on the ground. However, the toll could rise further as more body parts are recovered. The sole survivor, a British national of Indian origin, is currently hospitalized. Meanwhile, in Thailand, another Air India flight, this time from Phuket to New Delhi, received a bomb threat on Friday and made an emergency landing on the island. Passengers were escorted from flight AI 379 in accordance with emergency procedures. The aircraft was carrying 156 passengers at the time the bomb threat was received. According to flight tracker Flight Radar 24, the plane took off from Phuket Airport at 9:30 a.m. local time, but made a wide loop around the Andaman Sea and landed back on the Thai island. The incident follows Thursday's crash involving the same commercial airline. Airports of Thailand, however, did not provide details on the bomb threat, and Air India has yet to comment on the matter. In other news, Cambodia ordered its troops to stay on full alert on Friday in an ongoing border squabble with Thailand. Phnom Penh also cut internet routes passing through its neighbour ahead of a bilateral meeting aimed at diffusing tensions following a deadly border dispute last month. Authorities also announced the indefinite closure of the Dang Ban Line border crossing, citing security concerns. The crossing will reopen once all border restrictions imposed by the Thai military are lifted. Former leader Hun Sen, meanwhile, urged a ban on Thai imports if Bangkok does not lift their recent restrictions at border checkpoints. Violence flared on May 28th in an area known as the Emerald Triangle, where the borders of Cambodia, Thailand and Laos meet, with one Cambodian soldier killed. Switching to sports, football, the 2025 ASEAN Under-19 Women's Championship. The national team's hopes of reaching the semi-finals were dashed on Friday after they lost to Indonesia in their final Group B match in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Indonesia took the lead just 9 minutes into the match through Najwa Salsabila before Sydney Harper doubled the advantage in the 28th minute, leaving Cameron Ng's side struggling to stage a comeback. Things got worse for the Malaysian Tigress after 2 quick goals in the span of 3 minutes, courtesy of Jazlyn Azgar in the 77th minute and Alia Afianti in the 80th, handing them another heavy defeat just 2 days after their 7-1 loss to Thailand. The result propelled Indonesia into second place in the group with 4 points, while Malaysia with just 3 points slipped to third and conceded the semi-final spots to Thailand and Indonesia, who advanced as group winners and runners-up respectively. And on to football, Tottenham Hotspur named Thomas Frank as their 5th full-time manager in 6 years on Thursday, with the Premier League club confirming they had hired the former Brentford boss on a 3-year contract to replace Ange Postecoglou, who was sacked on June 7th. The 51-year-old Dane will now take charge of a club that will take part in next year's Champions League after they won the Europa League last month in Bilbao. Frank led Brentford back to the top flight in 2021 after an absence of 74 years to establish the West London club in the Premier League. Now he will be tasked with lifting Tottenham back among the Premier League's elite. Meanwhile, Postecoglou's achievement in delivering Spurs' first trophy in 17 years was overshadowed by a woeful Premier League season, which saw them finish 17th with 22 defeats, their worst campaign since the club were relegated in 1977. Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as hundreds gather for the annual replastering of Mali's Great Mosque of Janneh, an event that helps preserve the historic place of worship while strengthening community bonds. With that, I'm Muhammed. Hamdan. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.